quest of Blackstone Keep. On a cool autumn evening, Silverhaven's bustling tavern was alive with the hum of voices, the air thick with the scent of spiced ale, and the warmth of an eager crowd. Flickering candlelight cast playful shadows on the wooden walls, and the tavern's old oak beams creaked occasionally under the weight of the stories they had overheard through the years. Nestled in a corner, I sat nursing a mug of ale, letting the conversations wash over me like a river. It was then that I heard it, a whisper carried on the current of voices, a tale of an ancient artifact hidden within the haunted ruins of Blackstone Keep. My heart quickened with excitement, and an undeniable yearning took root within me. Intrigued and yearning for a change, I found myself murmuring. I sought out companions who shared my thirst for adventure. I could feel the spark of destiny igniting within me, urging me to seize the opportunity that was unfolding. The prospect of unraveling the mysteries of Blackstone Keep captivated my imagination. But such a quest could not be undertaken alone. I needed to find a group of adventurers whose skills would complement my own. Sipping the last of my drink, I scanned the room for those destined to join me. Each face told a story, but one by one, a group began to form around me, drawn together as if by an unseen force. First was Thorin Ironfist, a stalwart warrior whose robust frame and mighty greatsword marked him as a protector with unmatched bravery. His eyes, like steel, reflected a determination that paralleled my own. Beside him sat Alara Moonshadow, an enigmatic elven mage with an aura of wisdom and ancient magic. Her presence was serene, her eyes deep with the lore of ages past. I sensed her arcane power would illuminate even the darkest paths we might tread. Rowan Quickfoot soon joined our gathering, a roguish figure with nimble fingers and a knowing grin. His knack for unlocking secrets and bypassing traps promised to be invaluable, his agility a beacon in the uncertain shadows. Finally, Seraphina Lightbringer graced our company, a compassionate cleric whose divine energy radiated within the room. Her quiet resolve and unwavering faith offered a balm to any unease, promising strength and healing in the face of unseen perils. Together, we were an unlikely assembly, yet an undeniable synergy pulsed between us, a collective, unspoken drive to seek the mysteries that lay beyond Silverhaven. As the night grew deeper, our fates intertwined beneath the watchful gaze of the stars. With our hearts brimming with anticipation for the unknown, we stepped out into the night. The crisp autumn air wrapped around us, whispering promises of adventure as we took our first steps toward Blackstone Keep, driven by the allure of its secrets and the quest that awaited us. The journey commenced under a tapestry of twinkling stars, their light guiding our way as we left the familiar comforts of Silverhaven behind. Each step carried us deeper into the enchanting wilderness that surrounded the town, a realm where the rustling leaves and distant howls spun tales of ancient magic and formidable beasts. The air was alive with the sense of damp earth and fragrant pine, a reminder of the nature that thrived beyond civilization. Thorin led the way, his powerful build cutting a confident figure against the shadows. Each swing of his greatsword seemed to command respect from the night itself. Alara walked beside him, her delicate features framed by the silvery, soft glow of her magic, which flickered like starlight in response to her thoughts. Rowan danced effortlessly through the thickets, always a step ahead, ever watchful for hidden dangers or traps. Seraphina brought up the rear, her gentle murmurs of prayer weaving a protective aura around us, grounding our spirits as we traversed into the unknown. As we ventured further, the path began to climb steadily, winding through a vibrant forest alive with mystery. The trees stood tall and proud, their branches intertwined like old friends, filtering the neon glow of the moonlight into soft beams that illuminated our way. Suddenly, a chorus of night creatures joined us, a symphony of chirps, howls, and rustles that created a magical backdrop echoing our steps. In our hearts, an unspoken excitement brewed, and I felt the vibrant energy of adventure coursing through our collective veins. We discussed tales of Blackstone Keep, its haunted reputation filling us all with an electrifying mix of trepidation and exhilaration. We were prepared to face the unknown together, our unity reminding me that no challenge was insurmountable when shared with kindred souls. After a few hours of travel, the forest began to thin, and I could see the outline of distant mountains bordering the horizon, a formidable range standing sentinel over our destination. The landscape was awash in the colors of twilight, a blend of purples and blues that deepened into night. It was then that a chill crept into the air, one that prickled at the back of my neck and sent a hush over our group. I shared a glance with Alara, who seemed to sense the shift in atmosphere as well. "Stay vigilant," she murmured, the sparkle in her eyes now replaced with a focus befitting the impending challenge. As we made our way along the path, the trees grew sparse, and the ground began to settle into a rocky terrain. The ominous silhouette of Blackstone Keep began to emerge in the distance, dark against the starry sky. Its crumbling walls loomed over us like an ancient guardian, shadowed in secrets yet to be uncovered. The fortress towered above, edged with the remnants of twisted iron and overgrown vines, a haunting reminder of its forgotten glory. I could almost feel the weight of its history pressing down upon us, whispering its cautionary tales on the wind, warning of the lurking spirits within its depths. "We must be ready for anything," I declared, my voice steady despite the undercurrent of dread that coursed through me. My companions nodded, each of us feeling the solemn gravity of the moment. As we stood before the gates of Blackstone Keep, the atmosphere thickened, a palpable energy teetering between fear and anticipation. It was time to embrace the unknown, to shuffle through the shadows, and confront whatever trials lay within the maze of stone and spirit. Together, we would face our fears and venture into the heart of the keep, each heartbeat sinking with the desperation of our quest as we moved forward, with courage and camaraderie lighting our way. With a tentative breath, I pushed the heavy gates of Blackstone Keep open, the creaking metal echoing like a wail through the stillness. Before us lay an expansive entrance hall, darkened by years of neglect, but still impressive in its ancient architecture. The stone walls, long shrouded in dust and shadows, whispered stories of a grand past, while ivy clung stubbornly to the edges, nature's resilience fighting against the encroaching decay. As we ventured deeper, our flickering torches cast dancing shadows that played along the cold stone. The air grew noticeably cooler, thick with centuries of silence and secrets. The sound of our footsteps was subdued, as if the keep itself were holding its breath as we began to explore. Rowan moved forward, his instincts keen, scanning the ground for signs of traps or hidden passageways. The rogue's perceptive eyes picked up details that may have escaped us, and he gestured for us to halt as he crouched to inspect a peculiar pattern in the dust. "I think there might be pressure plates here," he whispered, his voice barely above a breath. "Let me check for any hidden mechanisms." Thorin lingered nearby, every sense alert, his greatsword ready at his side. "Stay close, everyone. We don't know what lurks in these shadows," he warned, glancing at the shadows beyond the reach of our light. Alara stepped forward, her staff aglow with a soft blue light as she began to weave intricate spells of protection around us. Magical runes danced briefly in the air, flickering like fireflies before settling into a shimmering barrier. As we tread into the darkness, we must not forget that light is our ally, she reminded, her voice steady and calm. Seraphina knelt, placing her hands upon the cold stone floor, whispering her prayers. The air shimmered briefly with divine energy, and I could feel a soft warmth radiating from her presence, filling the room with a sense of calmness amidst the uncertainty. It was as if her faith and resolve formed an invisible shield around us, bolstering our courage for whatever lay ahead. With a subtle click, Rowan had deftly released the pressure plate, revealing a hidden path that branched off into the keep's depths. He stood up, a triumphant glimmer in his eyes. "It seems we've found our way. Let's proceed with caution." Together, we moved into the dimly lit corridor, our senses heightened, as the air grew thick with history and foreboding. The path twisted and turned, curving deeper into the keep's heart, away from the light and into the realm of shadows. Strange sounds echoed around us, the distant drip of water mingling with soft whispers that sent chills down my spine. "Do you hear that?" I murmured, halting and straining to listen. The whispers grew clearer, swirling like the breath of the guardians that might still linger within these walls. "Yes, but it's just the wind, surely," Alara replied, though her expression betrayed a hint of uncertainty. But as we pressed on, the whispers grew louder, forming a dissonant symphony that reverberated through the stone hall, weaving in and out of comprehension. It was as if the keep itself were trying to communicate, a blend of sorrow and warning that danced just beyond my understanding. Suddenly, the corridor opened into a vast chamber, lit by an ethereal glow that emanated from a grand pedestal at its center. The air shimmered with energy, pulling us toward the source. I felt an inexplicable connection, a gravity that drew my heart and mind toward this focal point. As we stepped into the chamber, I felt the tension within the room shift. There, atop the pedestal, lay a grand tome, the ancient artifact we sought. Its pages, though worn and tattered, glowed with an otherworldly light, promising the secrets we needed to unlock the truth of Blackstone Keep, and perhaps the very fabric of the realm itself. But as we approached the tome, the whispers intensified, transforming into haunting cries and anguished wails that swirled around us like a tempest. Shadows began to unfurl from the walls, taking shape and form, coalescing into ethereal figures that began to surround us, their faces twisted in eternal torment. "We are not alone," I breathed, my heart racing as I realized the magnitude of the confrontation that awaited us. The relic had drawn the spirits forth, and we would need to summon every ounce of courage we possessed to navigate this perilous encounter. With resolve glimmering in our eyes, we readied ourselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Together, we would face the spirits of Blackstone Keep, unearthing the secrets of the past and embracing the tapestry of fate that intertwined our destinies in the shadowy depths of this storied fortress. As the wails of the spirits crescendoed into a chilling roar, I tightened my grip on the hilt of my weapon, heart pounding in my chest. The ethereal figures swirled around us with a tempestuous energy, their transparent forms flickering as though caught between realms. Each sorrowful face echoed a life lived long ago, trapped in the confines of this haunted keep, seeking release. Thorin stepped forward, a protective barrier forming around our group as he raised his greatsword high, its blade glinting in the otherworldly light. "Stay close. We stand as one," he bellowed, his voice steady against the tumultuous cries that surrounded us. Alara raised her staff, a powerful incantation spilling from her lips. The air thickened with shimmering arcane light, illuminating the chamber with a radiant glow that pushed against the encroaching darkness. The spirits balked momentarily, their anguished expressions shifting into one of confusion. "We mean no harm," she called out, her words resonating with an authority that demanded respect. Seraphina stepped beside her, hands raised, calling upon her divine energy to soothe the chaos. "Let us bear witness to your pain. We are here to help you find peace, to tell your stories." Her voice wrapped around the echoes of distress, infusing the chamber with warmth. But the spirits continued their anguished cries. Rowan, ever the opportunist, darted to the side, looking for an angle to understand the nature of the spirits looming inches from us. "We need to reach that tome," he exclaimed, eyes darting between the swirling apparitions. "If the relic holds the key to their release, we must get there." The shadows stirred, swelling aggressively as if they had sensed our intent. One spirit, larger than the rest and clad in ethereal armor, stepped forward, its eyes glowing like coals. "Trespassers," it bellowed, its voice tinged with a sorrowful rage. "You awaken us for what purpose? To steal our burdens." Fear gripped my heart, but alongside it surged a persistent hope. "We seek the truth of this place," I called out, my voice stronger than I felt. "The hearts of the past deserve to be heard, and we wish to honor your stories." The armored spirit seemed to contemplate my words, its form flickering as it hovered before us. The other spirits wavered, their cries softening into uneasy murmurs. A heavy silence fell over the chamber, creating a fragile truce between us. "Alara, your magic continue," Rowan cajoled, trying to keep momentum on our side. The mage rechanneled her energy, crafting an intricate shield that shimmered protectively around us while protecting the tome. The larger spirit's expression softened, and I could see a glimmer of understanding pass over its features. "You wish to know the lost truths," it mused, and the soft chaos of whispers echoed in approval amongst the others. "Yet, knowing comes with a price, a burden that must be faced." With a shared glance among my companions, we nodded in unison. We had come too far. Our needs were intertwined with the spirit's pain. "We will bear the burden," I asserted, feeling the weight of the words settle on my shoulders. "Guide us, and we will help release the stories bound in your hearts." The spirit's form shimmered, a realm of colors swirling as it considered our pledge. "Very well. If you seek the forgotten tales, you must face that which you fear, each one of you." As it spoke, the chamber shifted, and suddenly we were no longer surrounded by the spirits, but standing on the precipice of our own trials, visions swirling before us like specters from the past, each touching the darkest corners of our souls. "I'll go first," Thorin announced, stepping into the abyss. The air vibrated with the clash of battle and the cries of warriors long gone, and I could almost sense his previous tragedies emerging around him. "Watch over me," he shouted, charging into the storm of tumult that enveloped him. The rest of us breathed deep, ready to support him, even as we felt the pull of our own fears beginning to rise. I clenched my teeth. We had come to unlock the goodness of this place, and as the spirit's gaze bore into me, I understood now that the true journey within the Blackstone Keep was one that we would all have to undertake, facing the shadows of our hearts, confronting our truths, and perhaps discovering the light that beckoned from the other side. With resolve, we would take turns in this harrowing trial, forging ahead together, knowing that only through facing the depths of our own fears could we hope to unearth the ancient wisdom and peace long sought by those who came before us. So, one by one, with each pulse of the ethereal light, we prepared to delve into the depths of our own histories and spirits, ready to discover what awaited within the very heart of Blackstone Keep. As Thorin stepped into the swirling tempest of his past, the shadows closed around him, engulfing him in a maelstrom of flickering memories. I felt a weight descend upon my heart, knowing that the trials we faced would not be easily overcome. Each of us held our own burdens, our own fears waiting to be unleashed. Alara stood at the edge of the storm, her staff gripped tightly. "We will not let you face this alone," she called out, her voice ringing clearly above the cacophony of echoes. The shimmering barrier she conjured flickered with light, reinforcing our connection, ensuring that even if we ventured into personal darkness, we would remain united. As Thorin's figure began to dissolve into the void, I felt a pang of dread, but also a profound respect for his bravery. It wasn't just his strength we relied upon, it was his unyielding spirit that would illuminate the path ahead. I glanced at my companions, each grappling with their own apprehensions, yet all wearing expressions of resolve. The storm began to calm, and I could sense Thorin's presence becoming a luminous beacon within the shadows. "I see them," he shouted, his voice breaking through the chaos. "The fallen warriors. I will honor them." Our hearts surged with support, and just as I prepared to take a step forward, the tempest shifted again, and the shadows rippled, drawing my focus into their depths. A new vision coalesced before my eyes, revealing my own past, a tapestry woven with faint whispers of sorrow and regret. I felt the pull of memories, cold tendrils reaching out to hold me in their grasp. Scenes flickered, the whispers of those unsaid goodbyes, the shadows of mistakes made, and the fading echoes of laughter my childhood, my family, and the choices that distanced me from them. "No, this is not what I am," I protested, taking a defiant step back. The shadows loomed large, twisting maliciously, prepared to absorb me if I let fear take control. But deep within my heart, I felt a flicker of light, a realization that these memories didn't define me. They merely shaped my journey. I turned to my companions, their faces filled with determination and shared struggle. Thorin is facing his past. I must do the same. We will not let our fears defeat us. Encouraged by my resolve, the shadows began to recede momentarily, ushering forth the next participant in our trial. Alara took a breath, closing her eyes and letting her magic draw strength from within her soul. "I'll go next," she declared, stepping into the swirling void. The air shifted, and her form became a silhouette against the bright illumination of her magic. With a flash of brilliant light, she surrendered to the shadows, and suddenly the cries of spirits transformed into harmonies, echoes of grandeur woven with despair. Her ethereal figure glided gracefully through visions of ancient elven glades, the luminous beauty of her heritage springing to life around her. Yet, the whispers within the visions turned ominous. "Do you truly belong here, Alara?" A voice, smooth and haunting, echoed through the chamber. Will your magic save you, or will it bind you to the ruins of your past? The chamber warped, revealing scenes of struggle, her failures to protect those she loved, moments where her power faltered when it was needed most. But as the chilling doubts sought to invade her spirit, the warmth of Seraphina's divine energy fluttered around her, solidifying her resolve. Remember who you are. Seraphina's voice cut through the murmurs, soothing Alara with the reminder of her strength. You wield the light not only to fight darkness, but to guide others through it. With renewed vigor, Alara lifted her staff, channeling the shimmering magic within her. The shadows undulated, bending to her will as she faced her fears head on. I will not be defined by my failures, she proclaimed, her words resonating through the chamber like the ringing of a bell, dispelling the doubts that had encircled her. The spirits echoed in approval, their tormented faces transforming into expressions of respect and gratitude. I watched, filled with pride and solidarity, as one by one my companions prepared to confront their own trials, a necessary journey that brought us closer to the truth we sought. Rowan stepped forward next, a determined glint in his eyes. I can handle this, he stated, yet I could see the uncertainty lurking beneath his bravado. As he plunged into the depths of the void, the shadows cloaked him, recreating his past, a chaotic whirlwind of cunning schemes, betrayals, and the price of his cunning. I was just trying to survive, I heard him shout. The chamber echoed with the proof of the cost of his choices, tangled in the grasp of guilt. Yet he fought against it. The cries of spirits mingled with the laughter of friends in the throes of adventure, reconciling the two halves of his life. The wails of the spirits swelled into a crescendo once more, merging with the trials of his soul as they seemed to call out in muffled anguish, urging him to confront the shadows of his choices. Stepping forward into his memory, he faced the past he had evaded, letting the anxiety wash over him while declaring, "But I am not just a rogue. I strive to be more, to help." With a surge of resolve, he embraced his newfound purpose, banishing his regret into the night. As I took a step back, the trials of my companions reminded me of my own burden still waiting to be faced. The chamber remained ever watchful, encouraging me to confront my fears, the darkness that lingered within my heart. I knew I could not retreat. I had to face whatever lay ahead. With a deep breath, I stepped toward the shimmering abyss, prepared to delve into the depths of my past, to embrace all the shadows that shaped who I was, knowing that the trials we faced shaped our destinies within the heart of Blackstone Keep. Together, we would emerge transformed, aligned with the truths unearthed, ready to honor the spirits multiplied alongside us, and reclaim the wisdom lost in the depths of time. As I stepped into the abyss, the world around me dissolved into a swirling mist of memories and regrets, each one colliding like waves upon a shore. An overwhelming sensation of being drawn through time enveloped me, and with every heartbeat, I was pulled deeper into this personal tempest. Images materialized around me, scenes from my childhood, the innocence of laughter and light, now overshadowed by the weight of choices I had made. I saw myself at a family gathering, the warmth of my mother's embrace juxtaposed against the growing distance I put between us as I chased dreams far beyond the horizon of our small village. The tender moments became a flickering candle flame, casting shadows of guilt over my heart. No, I gasped, feeling the cold grip of regret threatening to swallow me whole. I didn't mean to, but the words fell silent in the cacophony of memories, drowned out by the dissonance that echoed relentlessly around me. Suddenly, I stood before a reflection, a figure shrouded in darkness, embodying all the facets of my doubts. It spoke in a voice that was both chilling and familiar. You fled from this life, believing it was beneath you. But look where it has led. You are lost, not a hero, but a coward. The shadows threatened to consume me entirely, each leg of the journey dragging me into the depths of despair. Yet, in the very core of my being, I felt something more, a glimmer of the hope and strength I had gathered with my companions. You don't control me, I shouted defiantly at the dark figure. I am not lost. I have chosen this path alongside my friends, and together we will uncover the truths hidden within these shadows. With each assertion of my truth, the figure faltered, flickering like a dying flame. I remembered the faces of my companions, Thorin's unyielding spirit, Alara's radiant magic, and Rowan's unwavering determination. Their journeys had taught me that it was okay to stumble and fall, that every choice, good or bad, was a step in the right direction, woven into the fabric of who I was becoming. The shadows pulsed, morphing from chaotic dread into a swirling vortex of clarity. My memories reshaped themselves, my family, my failures, the hopeful dreams I had chased. All of it held purpose. I was learning, growing, expanding beyond the confines of regret. Face your fears, and they will set you free. A voice chorused in unison, my own voice, resounding with newfound power. With a deep breath, I embraced everything that I had once run from. I was not merely a boy dreaming of adventure. I was part of a larger narrative, one filled with layers of sacrifices and connections that colored my world in vivid hues. The darkness around me shattered into countless fragments, dissipating into the ether as light exploded forth, enveloping me in a warm embrace. I found myself back in the chamber, standing alongside my companions, our spirits intertwined like the roots of ancient trees. The spirits that had once encircled us now watched with attentive expressions. Their eyes glimmered with flickers of hope as the burden of our stories began to dissipate in kind. I turned to my friends, the bond between us solidified through our individual confrontations. We had faced the depths of our fears and emerged renewed. Did you feel it? I asked breathlessly, filled with an exhilarating sense of triumph. I felt a weight lift, Alara responded, her voice a soothing balm echoing through the space. The shadows are not simply the remnants of our pasts, they are lessons we must embrace. We've unlocked their stories. Seraphina nodded in agreement, her eyes bright with understanding. The spirits will guide us now. Our trials have set them free, and we will honor them by revealing those truths entwined with our own. But even as a surge of hope coursed through me, I could feel the energy shift, the presence of the spirits growing stronger, their forms coalescing into something more profound than mere shadows. A brilliant light burst forth from the tome resting on the pedestal, shimmering with untold wisdom, and from it, a radiant figure began to manifest, a spirit adorned in the regal remnants of forgotten royalty, a guardian of the keep. It stepped forward, both regal and ethereal, its voice echoing like the gentle rustling of leaves in the evening breeze. Brave souls, the spirit proclaimed, you have faced what many could not. By confronting your truths, you have freed my kin and awakened the light within your own hearts. Now, as custodians of this ancient knowledge, you hold the key to transforming not only your futures, but the fate of this realm. We stood united, awash with purpose, as the guardian continued. Embrace this gift, for it is your duty to share the wisdom gathered from both victory and loss. Use it to heal the scars of the past, and together, let us restore balance to the land. With our spirits intertwined and burdens lifted, we prepared to harness the light gifted to us, knowing that our quest was far from over. It was merely the beginning of a new chapter, one forged in understanding, strengthened by our unity, and dedicated to honoring those who had come before us. And as the echoes of the past faded into a harmonious song, we stepped forward, ready to carve our new legacy within the heart of Blackstone Keep, determined to shine light upon the darkness that still lingered beyond its ancient walls. The atmosphere within the chamber thrummed with newfound energy, radiating from the spirit before us. It was clear that our journey had awakened something profound, a connection to the past, and a beacon of hope for the future. The golden light emanating from the tome illuminated the vast chamber, revealing intricate carvings and symbols on the walls that gleamed like ancient runes filled with purpose. Gather close, the royal spirit beckoned gently, its ethereal form shimmering with the weight of ages. I will reveal to you the wisdom hidden within this tome, the wisdom that can guide you to mend the wounds of your land. Compelled by the spirit's authority, we moved toward the pedestal, each of us feeling the warmth of the light wrapping around us like a protective embrace. When the spirit gestured towards the tome, the pages began to flutter open, revealing vibrant illustrations of realms and creatures, histories of old battles and great victories, all intertwined with tales of love, loss, and redemption. The knowledge inscribed within these pages is not just text, it is a living history that must be cherished, the guardian intoned. You will each receive a piece of this wisdom, a vision that speaks to the journey you must undertake. It will guide you not only in your personal quests, but in the quest to heal the realm. Are you prepared? We nodded collectively, the anticipation thrumming in the air like the beats of our hearts. With a wave of its hand, the spirit summoned tendrils of shimmering light that spiraled from the tome, enveloping us one by one, forming a cocoon of memories and visions tailored to each of us. As the light surrounded me, it felt like diving deep into a tranquil sea, where the shadows at the bottom shimmered with the remnants of hope and despair alike. I was transported to a lush meadow filled with the vibrant colors of spring. But instead of being filled with joy, the scene shifted to reveal a village plagued by drought. Its once thriving fields lay barren, cracked under an unyielding sun. "Remember this place," came a whisper from the depths of my mind, "for you have the power to change its fate." I saw myself standing alongside my companions, planting seeds in the parched earth, coaxing the land back to life with our combined energy, a reminder that our unity could turn despair into hope. The vision faded, and I found myself standing firmly once more in the radiant chamber. The knowledge was clear within me. We could heal not just our pasts, but our future through acts of compassion and collective effort. Alara, too, emerged from her cocoon of light. Her eyes were wide, shimmering with the resonance of her vision. "I saw the ancient trees of our ancestors," she shared, her voice tinged with wonder. "They were dying, caught in a blight of dark magic. But with the light we carry, we can purify the land, restore balance. It will require dedication and faith, but we can do it." Rowan stepped forward next, a glimmer of resolve etched across his features. My vision revealed paths, trade routes that have been lost to time, full of forgotten stories. We must reignite hopes for commerce between our people, entwining our fates once more. Bonds must be rebuilt, not just for survival, but for thriving communities. Seraphina, bathed in soft light, stepped forward last, her tranquility fitting seamlessly within the growing energy of our mission. I beheld the spirits of the fallen. They wish for peace and the reconnection with their homes. Our journey must include honoring them through rituals, ensuring they find solace and a way to guide the living. The Guardian's form glowed brighter, acknowledging our revelations. "You have all found your purpose. The key to unlocking the potential of this realm lies within your unity, forged through your strengths and committed to the betterment of all. Together, you will restore balance, a testament to the strength of overcoming darkness." With those words echoing in our hearts, the spirit extended its arms towards the tome, summoning the pages to flip and turn rapidly before settling on a map, a vibrant depiction of our homeland with vivid illustrations of landmarks yet to be reclaimed. "This is the path you must take. Here lies the ancient grove, the city ruins, and the hearts of communities longing for renewal. Embark upon this journey with the strength you have gained here today." The pulse of purpose surged within us as we gazed at the map before us, marking pertinent locations where our efforts could begin. Each spot resonated strongly, promising a journey rife with opportunities to mend the tapestry of our world. As the visions faded into the realms of memory, but remained fresh in our hearts, we understood that the challenges ahead would not be simple. They would demand our collective devotion, courage, and compassion. Then let us not waste another moment, I proclaimed, fervent energy igniting within me. Let us honor the spirits and the knowledge we have gained, and venture forth to restore our land and its people. With resolute hearts and the guiding light of hope illuminating our path, we pledged together beneath the gaze of the guardian spirit. The echoes of the past became our compass for the future, and as we stepped away from the lingering shadows of Blackstone Keep, we knew that our journey had only begun, a quest born from the heart, destined to change the realm for generations to come. As we stepped away from the illuminated chamber of Blackstone Keep, the golden light of hope still warmed our hearts. The once gold stone of the keep now resonated with purpose, and the weight of our shared burden felt lighter as our mission crystallized in each of our minds. The map lay unfurled before us, vibrant and inviting, beckoning us toward the first point of our journey, an ancient grove said to be the heart of the land. Rumors spoke of its guardians, timeless beings intertwined with nature, whose healing magic lay dormant, yearning to be awakened. Thorin took the lead, his demeanor resolute, embodying the strength that had always guided us forward. Let us be cautious. The forces of darkness have taken root here for too long. We must tread wisely. The fearlessness in his voice helped embolden us, and as we made our way toward the exit, the spirit's words echoed in our minds, promising that unity would be our greatest strength. Outside, the sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky with swirling hues of orange and purple, a canvas of beauty that seemed to herald our departure. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of earth awakening after a long night of darkness. I felt the vibrations of life surrounding us, the land eager for our next steps. Before we set off, Seraphina raised her hands in a gesture of blessing. Let us offer our gratitude to the spirits who have guided us. They deserve our respect, and we carry their wisdom with us. The rest of us joined her in a moment of silence, reverence pouring from our hearts like a gentle breeze. With our spirits lifted, we made our way through the woods that bordered the keep. The shadows, once thick and foreboding, now felt welcoming, each rustle of leaves and distant call of birds seemed to cheer us on. The very fabric of the forest shifted, revealing pathways that shimmered and danced with the remnants of magic still lingering in the air. As we journeyed, I stole glimpses at my companions. Alara walked with her head held high, her soft murmurs of spell casting mingling with the sound of the wind. Her connection with the ethereal was palpable, and I knew her determination to restore the ancient trees would guide us through many challenges. Rowan flitted between the trees, a shadow of quick wit and cunning. I could see his mind racing, thinking of the stories that would unfold as we renewed the trade routes. He had a spark of excitement in his eyes, and I marveled at how far he had come from the rogue who only looked out for himself. He had embraced the journey as a united purpose. Soon we came upon our first destination, the ancient grove. Tall trees with gnarled branches soared majestically overhead, their leaves of vibrant green and gold. Sunlight streamed through the canopy, creating a mosaic of light and shadow upon the ground. It felt alive, as if the very air hummed with energy. Alara stepped forward, entranced. "This place, it breathes," she whispered, her eyes wide with awe. "Can you feel the magic?" We had barely entered the heart of the grove when a gust of wind swirled around us, as if the trees were whispering secrets. The leaves rustled in a whimsical dance, beckoning us to follow. With each step we took, the ground beneath us bore the impressions of life, the soft imprint of lush flora, and the hidden promise of rebirth. But as we ventured deeper into the grove, the atmosphere shifted slightly, a subtle darkness creeping in. Shadows danced between the trunks, and I caught a flicker of movement. My pulse quickened, every instinct primed for danger. I exchanged glances with Thorin, who nodded in acknowledgement and gripped his sword with purpose. Just as I opened my mouth to voice my concerns, a figure stepped out from behind the trees, an ephemeral being, ethereal and delicate, with eyes that shimmered like emeralds. "Move with caution, brave travelers. I am the guardian of this grove. The darkness lingers still, seeking to consume what remains." The spirit radiated gentleness, yet held a weight that demanded respect. It stretched out its translucent hand, a soft green light flowing from within. "To heal this grove, you must confront the darkness that clings to its roots. Only in acknowledging the scars of the past can we hope to pave the way for rebirth." A sense of purpose washed over us again, like a familiar wave propelling us forward. We had faced our fears individually, and now we would unite our strengths against this darkness. The grove would not be saved in solitude. We needed to embody the essence of our bonds. As the guardian stepped back, revealing the depth of the grove, we stood resolute at the precipice of our next challenge. Eyes glimmering with determination, we prepared to confront the lingering shadows, knowing that as long as we stood together, we possessed the power to instill hope and healing in this sacred place. "Let's begin," I said firmly, with the warmth of unity shining within me. We would reclaim this grove as a symbol of our commitment to restore not just the land, but the essence of life pulsating all around us. United as one, we stepped forward into the unknown, ready to face whatever trials awaited us in the heart of the ancient grove. As we ventured further into the ancient grove, a queasy calm settled over us, thickening the air until it felt tangible. The vibrant colors of the foliage shimmered dully under the shadow of impending darkness, and the temperature dropped, making every breath feel like a fleeting wisp of smoke. No turning back now, Rowan muttered, his nimble fingers lingering near his daggers, ever ready for danger. The guardian spirit hovered nearby, serene yet watchful. Remember, your light is strongest when united. The darkness here is a manifestation of fear and despair. Only by confronting it can you release the grove from its grasp. We moved in unison, step by step, guided by the whispers of the wind. Together, we formed a ring, a defensive circle, bolstered by our shared resolve. I could feel the vision of our individual trials resonating within each of us, igniting hope and purpose. Ahead, a palpable heaviness loomed. The trees began to thin, revealing an ominous clearing at the grove's heart. At the center, thick tendrils of darkness writhed and curled, pulsating like a malevolent creature brought to life by fear and anguish. It overshadowed the remnants of what had once been a majestic fountain, long since claimed by the shadows. Its stone edges crumbled and consumed. "This is it," Alara breathed, her voice steady despite the trepidation in the air. The light of her magic shimmered in response to the encroaching darkness, illuminating her features that reflected both fear and courage. Thorin took a step forward, blade raised, his presence a bulwark against the encroaching gloom. "Let's clear a path. We can't let this darkness overwhelm us." The tendrils lashed out as if sensing our approach, but Seraphina stepped forward, arms raised, a glowing aura radiating from her. "No more fear. We stand as one." Her voice rang clear and strong, a beacon cutting through the encircling shadows. Then a torrent erupted. The darkness surged forward with fury, howling as it surrounded us in a tempest of thick, inky blackness. As it engulfed my senses, despair writhed around me, tugging at the edges of my heart, threatening to collapse my spirit into despair. The guardian's voice broke through the tumult, echoing in our minds. "Focus. Remember your strength. Stand together and draw from the light within." In that moment, a surge of energy coursed through me. I felt each of my companions' spirits igniting in response, pooling together a reservoir of light and courage. We closed our eyes and drew upon the essence of our trials, pulling forth the energy of our shared victories over fear and doubt. "Now," I shouted, our voices harmonizing as we channeled our combined strength into a torrent of light that surged forward. It burst forth like a radiant wave, crashing against the tendrils of darkness with blinding brilliance. The shadows writhed in agony, shrieking as light met dark. The fountain at the grove's center sparkled for the first time in ages, reveled in warmth. The tendrils dissolved, retreating under the onslaught of our unified will. With each pulse of our energy, we fortified the light until it exploded forth in a brilliant, cleansing ray, illuminating the grove with vibrant hues, a celebration of life reborn. I marveled at the contrasts around us, the darkness crumbled, unable to withstand the purity of our resolve. As the darkness evaporated, the grove erupted in a fertile cacophony of color and sound. Flowers burst forth from the earth, vibrant and fragrant, dancing together in a breeze that had long been absent. The fountain glistened beneath the heat of the sun, its waters bubbling to life, filled with a shimmering liquid magic. The spirit guardian smiled, its ethereal form shimmering like the gentle glow of dawn. You have reclaimed this grove. The balance has been restored. Your light has dispelled the darkness, proving that hope can indeed bloom from despair. We stood together, breathless and exhilarated, surrounded by the vibrant life blossoming anew. The weight of the shadows had been lifted, and in its place was the promise of renewal, a testament to the trials we faced both individually and as a united front. We did it, Alara exclaimed, a bright smile illuminating her face, her eyes sparkling with wonder. Yes, we did, I responded, feeling a sense of profound connection to my companions. In this moment, we had not only saved the grove, but had begun to heal ourselves and our land. As we made our way back through the grove, no longer retracing the steps of fear, but embracing the path of unity, I felt the promise of our journey ahead pulsing within me. Each enlightened step we took paved the way for the changes we vowed to bring beyond this sacred place. The ancient grove now stood as a beacon of hope. Together, we would reignite life across the land and honor the stories we harvested from the past, knowing the journey to restore harmony was just beginning. With hearts entwined and spirits emboldened, we would journey forth, ready to shine our light on all we touched, breathing life and hope into the very fabric of our world.